There was a king once, and he got a gift of 2 falcons from Arabia. The king called his falconer and he said, "Now, teach these birds to fly." And after a few months, he went back and met this falconer. And he asked him, "So tell me, give me a report on my birds." And the falconer said, "Your Highness, one of your birds is soaring over your fields. The other one is perched on a branch and just refuses to move." And so the king was upset. Who wants a bird that doesn't fly? So he called his best birdmen and he said, "Get this bird to fly." They tried their best, to no avail. The king was upset, disappointed. So he said, "Maybe I don't need birdmen. Maybe I need someone who is a farmer who understands trees." So he called a farmer and said, "I'll give you my best field if you can teach my falcon to fly." He went inside and a few minutes later looked out of the window, and there saw his bird soaring away. He ran out, happy, and he asked the farmer, "How did you manage this? The field is yours." And the farmer said, "Very simple, Your Highness. I just went up and I broke that branch away and he had no place to sit, so he flew." We can't fly without leaving our perch. We need to get out of the way. Sometimes, if you want to do your best, to fly your furthest, you have to say, "I'm going to leave the things I know. I'm going to devote myself totally to the task that lies ahead. I will fly forward as I am called, and I will not glance back." Being the president of Rotary is not just an honor, although it is. It is first and foremost a job. And from the day I was nominated, I approached the job of running Rotary as I would the running of any big business, striving to keep our costs low, our productivity high, our operations efficient, and focusing on increasing values for our members. And what I asked of our members, I have also asked of our leaders and our staff. These efforts have not only yielded substantial fiscal savings, but have also led us to develop new and creative ways to give Rotarians good value for the cost of their membership, such as Rotary Global Rewards. Rotary Global Rewards is a new program that allows you to receive concessions on everyday transactions via your smartphones. It has had over 80,000 visits with over 13,000 redeemed offers already in less than 1 year. Whether you're shopping online at Marks and Spencer, whether you're visiting Walt Disney World in the US, whether you're buying electronics at Harvey Norman in Australia, it's worth first looking at Rotary Global Rewards. But in any business, it is not enough to merely know your markets, or for that matter, to know your customers. You have also to be responsive to them, aware of their revolving needs, and always alert to the competition. And the real competition to Rotary these days is simply life itself. It is the other priorities we all have, all of which we compete with Rotary for our energy, our time, and our resources. It has become increasingly clear that the traditional Rotary model of weekly meetings and meals may not be a viable proposition to the professionals of all ages we most need to attract. And so your board proposed, and your council approved increased flexibility in how we meet and in the types of membership, giving clubs more autonomy to make the choices that work best for them. I'm glad to tell you as well that your council made more progressive changes to our constitution than any council in history, with an eye to a future in which the business of Rotary will be conducted on a level more ambitious than ever before. Whether you are at a meeting of the RI board or council, or whether you are a Rotary club anywhere in the world, you are seeing the machinery of Rotary. You are seeing the process. But in order to see the product, the reason for this drive towards efficiency, towards building our resources, towards doing the most with what we have, in order to see that, you have to step outside these walls. Like the falcon in the story I just told you, you have to fly. And this is the privilege I've had this Rotary year, of flying above the landscapes of Rotary, soaring over its fields and its mountains, its rivers and its valleys. In dozens of countries, hundreds of projects, I have seen the countless ways that Rotary has been a gift to the world. In Nepal, 1 year after their devastating earthquake, I saw the first fruits of a partnership between Rotarians and their government, an agreement that will result in 140 new schools and hundreds of homes to replace those destroyed. In Chile, I met a beautiful child. Child had no sight and had lots of other disabilities. And as I carried her around, I saw how many children were being set on a path to productive and fulfilling lives because of the Disabled Children's Center conceptualized by Rotary. When the magnificent Himalayan region of India was hit by an apocalyptic flood, leaving terrible destruction and thousands dead, Rotary stepped in to rebuild 32 schools in areas so remote, so inaccessible, that the materials had to be carried brick by brick on the workers' backs. It was a triumph, not only of engineering, not only of logistics, but of determination and of conviction, a conviction that even the most isolated, the most unreachable communities must somehow be reached. These projects, along with all the best projects I saw this year, showed not only compassion, but also generosity, ingenuity, creativity, and skill. They showed what we can do in Rotary when we approach the business of service with our full attention, our full expertise, and with a full heart. A few months ago in Rwanda, I had the privilege of spending a day with a medical team led by past Rotary International President Raja Sabu. 20 specialist doctors flew in from India with all of their equipment to perform some 400 surgeries over the course of 1 week. Having been invited by past President Raja, I still thought I must speak to one of the organizers of the event beforehand and ask him how I could help out. Being a professional, he asked what experience I had. I said, I run a multinational company and I am the president of Rotary International. He thought for a moment and he said, okay, we will put you down for unskilled labor. And spending the day like that, pushing wheelchairs, moving patients in and out of surgery, I thought here was a project that targeted a need that no one else could meet. that mobilized resources no one else could mobilize, that brought together all of these people, from the most highly trained surgeons to those like me with absolutely no skills at all, and maximize the contribution of each one's. Who else, my friends, but Rotary could do this? But more than that, what I want you to know is what happened afterwards. When we came outside after the last surgery and saw waiting for us a group of mothers with their children, children previously sent to India for complicated heart surgery, which they unfortunately could not do in Rwanda. They were there to meet me. They had brought for us some home-cooked delicacies, and they were wearing their best clothes. One of them sang, another one danced. And then one mother came up to me. She showed me her daughter, lovely child, big smile, maybe 11 years or 12 years old. And she said, the doctors told me that this child cannot live because of her heart. And then Rotary came, and they gathered these children together, took them in a plane to India, repaired their hearts, kept them there until they were well, and brought them home again. She said, when my child left, I cried uncontrollably, believing I may never see my daughter again. But look, here she is. And there she was, smiling child. And all of these other children, every one of them children whose parents had been told they would not live. My friends, I ask you, is there a price tag for this gift? But that is what we do in Rotary. That is why we are here. When I took this job 11 months ago, I was convinced that Rotary must be run like a business. And to those who said to me, Rotary is not a business, I said, yes, it is. But it is a business like no other. Our business is literacy. Our business is health. Our business is livelihood. Our business is hope. Our business is life itself. And to so many of those we help, our business is miracles. And that's what I want to say to all of you. That's what I ask you to understand. That when we push for ambition in our service, when we push for productivity, for efficiency, for new ways to leverage our resources, it is so that we can make that business grow. As Rotarians, we see our business as entrepreneurs. We set our targets. We measure our progress. We chart our course. We move forward week after week, month after month, one Rotary year after the next. In this week here in Seoul, we will look at our business from the other side, through the eyes of those we help, through the eyes of that bird that soared above, through the eyes of the child who was given no hope until Rotary came to save her, through the eyes of that family that was left homeless until Rotary built their home anew, the countless generations who feared polio until Rotary came and stopped it. The work that we do is practical. It is considered. It is the work of our hands and our minds here on earth. And yet the gifts that we give, the fruits of that work, those gifts are indeed miracles. For that is what you do when you serve to the very best of your abilities, when you hold your Rotary work to your highest professional standards, when you never content yourself with saying, I did the best I could, but always ask yourself, how could I have done this better and how could I have done more? I thank you all for the gifts you have given me. I thank you for your trust, for your confidence, for the responsibility that you have placed into my hands. And I thank you for the gifts you have given and the gifts that you have become through the work you have done, the promises that you have kept, the opportunities you have seized to be a gift to the world. Thank you. Thank you.